can never do it like I. When you see man pull up and slide, man stepped in a room with legends, Rio and Steve, you know it's a vibe. Check the podcast, what you wanna know? Don't ask me, go and ask Joe. If you're talking Premier League, he's on the front line and I gotta go. It's a vibe with five, and you already know what it is. It's a vibe with five, and you already know what it is. Vibe with five, and you already know what it is. It's a vibe with five, and you already know this.
And we are back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Vibe with Five. Myself, Beya, Rio Ferdinand, Stephen Howson.
Oh, are we allowed in the studio now?
We're back in the studio giving you the vibes. But listen, you see the thing about us here? We're doing all types of content, man. You got my man here in the souk?
I was in the souk. I've been everywhere. I've been souk. I've been tasting the foods in I don't know what's the name of the place. I went to a culture house where you just find out about how, you know what, the detail in which how they make the coffee, how they distribute it within the family, who sits where, the details nuts. But anyway, I've had an unbelievable time there.
Getting mobbed left, right, and centre.
That's normal, man. That's normal.
You know what I mean? Steve,
well, you two, what you lot been up to? You know what? The other day, you lot went missing on me. I don't know where you was.
When?
It's happened more than once.
Yeah, man. You've been chilling with R9.
These guys, this ain't work. What's been great about this trip? You can't tell me this is work.
Well, we went to play football on the beach yesterday. That was wicked.
One of the guys behind the scenes broke his toe, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out Charlie.
Yeah,
he broke his toe. Injuries galore. But
he's got a hat trick though.
You know what it's been? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I mean, the hour's been outrageous, but I'm not complaining. It's just a statement of fact.
You've aged 4 or 5 years.
Do you reckon? The hours have been nuts.
Because of the hours?
The hours have been nuts.
A few weeks last week.
Yeah, we've still not been out for it yet.
Nah, we ain't going out.
That's how busy it's been.
But listen, I want to take it back to the big games that happened, man. You had Argentina, Croatia, which we're going to focus on, but we also had France versus Morocco. Myself and Steve were at that game. Hernandez and Mouani, the scorers. Rio, what did you make of that game?
Well, it was, do you know what? I looked at France. I actually thought France would go through. My heart wanted Morocco to go through. Firstly, you have to pay huge respects to the team, Morocco, the manager, the team, the staff that they had there. They created an unbelievable storyline within this World Cup. One of the lasting memorable images from the World Cup for me will be the players embracing their mothers after the games.
Yeah.
That touched me massively. And an African nation, Muslims all around the world, bringing Africa and the Muslim nation together, I think it was just it's an amazing thing to see. And for an African nation to get to the semi-finals, the furthest an African nation has been, the impact that will have around all of the African nations is going to be, it's immeasurable. And I spoke to Didier Drogba, actually, going to be on one of the vlogs, just about this. And he's saying, listen, this is going to go on for years, kids seeing certain players, certain moments. And so, it was crazy. But to go back to that game, it made me look at France and just think, you know what? What are they? What are France? They're a moments team.
Yeah.
They're a moments team. Morocco had most of the ball. They had most of the play. They had most of the chances. They were powder puff up front. They didn't have a goal scorer, Morocco. That's what they were missing. If Taremi from Iran was playing for them, they'd have scored. They would have had a chance of beating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
But what you know about France is that they're experienced. They're the reigning champions. That counts for a lot. They've got players in there that have won it, have walked this path already. They've got players in there who haven't walked this path and who are starving and are hungry. And you can see the different I think if you didn't know who they were, you would see who those players are as well. They're excited, being calmed down and being measured and balanced by the other players that have won and who are experienced. And I think the fact that they lost 5 or 6 starters to this team has played a huge part in getting them to where they are now as well.
What do you mean?
It's refocused them. It's made them think, we're going to have to work harder even more as a team. We're going to have to actually... The likes of Griezmann he's been like almost a sacrificial lamb, not in some senses. He's playing so deep.
Yeah.
A lot of his game, we tried to break his game down the other day. In terms of creative and going forward, chances created, he's been unreal. He's vying for one of the players of the tournament, top 3 players of the tournament. Easily.
There's only 2, I think.
100%.
But I think, but him, when we were looking at his best clips in the last game against Morocco, half of his best clips were actually defending. on the penalty spot.
Wow.
Defending crosses, bringing the ball down under pressure, and then feeding the teammate. He has been the blueprint of what France are about. And Didier Deschamps, the manager, he is a water carrier by trade, right?
Me and Joel was having this conversation.
Yeah,
What I'm
literally.
saying, that you can see that he's seen that in someone like a Griezmann, because if Griezmann in any other country, he might not be playing in this game. He wouldn't have maybe started in this tournament because of his club form and the way he's the last 18 months.
Not been great.
He's come into this tournament, he's hit the ground running, and it's like they knew that he was going to be serious for them. And without him, could they do what they're doing? I don't think they could.
Glass is permanent, man. Like the way, like I keep saying, the way he brings in the other players, and like you said, unselfishly. But just to back up the stats, what you said about Morocco, they had 61% possession, 14 shots for France, 13 shots for Morocco, but both only had 3 on target. So, like you said, they didn't have a striker, man.
The final ball wasn't there for them. There was some real cool third man run, some one-touch play that they were doing was brilliant to penetrate into the final third, but that last ball or the shot just wasn't there.
Steve, they were exploiting France's left-hand side though, innit? Which says something. Mbappe, brilliant going forward, but Hernandez was being left exposed, bro, like naked.
I said it on BBC. I've done the game, France Morocco, and that was before the game. I actually highlighted the left-hand side of France. Hernandez, who scored one of the goals, actually.
Yeah.
He is the weak link, not because him personally as a player so much, it's because that side of the pitch is left exposed because he's on his own.
Mbappe gets
and Mbappe cheats, which I like, because your best players you allow at United with Cristiano, you allowed him to play high and cheat at times because you had a Darren Fletcher or Owen Hargreaves or a Michael Carrick coming out there to help. You need someone, and Rabiot didn't play this game, so I think it was highlighted a bit even more. If Rabiot comes in, I think he will move over and shift and help a bit more on that side, but when I look at that, I was saying in the studio while the game was going on, Messi must have been sitting there licking his lips and just sharpening his tools, thinking the area they're most weakest in is the area I am deployed in and where I do my biggest amount of damage. And he's the last assist, the third goal, Argentina against Croatia. Where's he come from?
Yeah.
He's right-hand side. Argentina's right-hand side, which will be France's left-hand side. And I just see maybe that being the area of difference between the two teams, and Messi, obviously. But just to go back to Griezmann, you look at his stats. The guys create great little info packs for us here. He's got the most assists in the 2022 World Cup, most crosses, most chances created, most big chances created, most possessions won in the final third, and most passes into the opponent's team box. And defensively, he is probably one of the best in the actual French team.
I think he is the player of the tournament, because even though Messi's been brilliant, it's all one direction with Messi, and it is good and it's brilliant, and you love him in any team. But Griezmann's doing both. The fact that he's doing both and doing it at such a high level.
But there's fairy tale to this, isn't it? There's fantasy. If Argentina win it,
Messi gets
the
it.
player of the tournament. If France win it,
Mbappe gets it.
It should be Griezmann.
I reckon Mbappe.
It might be.
Yeah, if Mbappe scores in the final when they win it, he gets it.
Yeah.
But if you're looking just for pure football, I agree with Steve. There's no Griezmann is in the conversation.
He's been a joy. I mean, Messi's been a joy to watch. Let's be honest with ourselves. But Griezmann to me has been a joy to watch. Like if you've got a kid and you like watch this, you're not going to show him Messi because you're going to go, listen, calm yourself. You ain't going to do that. You might be able to do this.
He's played the number 10 role. Like I've not seen a number 10 play before. Because what I just read out there in terms of most passes, most chances created, most crosses, most assists, that's a number 10 without defensive responsibilities normally. He's cleaning up for his team defensively on the penalty box.
Yeah.
It's unreal. I'm going to do a piece on this for the game. Please watch it if you're there.
Don't you think that France seemed a little bit unstable as well, or unstable without Rabiot being there as well? Because that was a big miss for me, and I saw that.
Yeah. I still think they're in second gear, man. Yeah, I keep saying
maybe, but you can see what he brings to the team.
They've not been at full flow, I don't think yet. They've just sort of done enough.
Yeah, they're not a team that plays and relies on rhythm. They can go through bumpy moments and rough moments in a game, which is a real It's a really powerful trait to have that, you know, because it's almost like a boxer, just like Muhammad Ali, just waiting, rope-a-doping and just saying, thinking you got him on the ropes and then bang.
Yeah.
They score at some moments as well, don't they? And kill
critical moments. And Mbappe...
What a game we're in for Sunday, though. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Is there a more exhilarating, like, player when he's in full flow? Like, more devastating, more punishing-looking player, more frightening-looking player in the game at the moment when in full flow?
What Rio's trying to say is that Mbappe plays as if it's
only Messi,
playground
I think,
football.
at the minute.
No, Messi's different. There's no better sight in football when you're looking at Messi in full flow.
I'll answer, there's none.
What?
There is no other player like him.
Who?
Mbappe. When he's on it, for example, did you see the way he was knocking the ball and just getting those guys for sprints?
Who does it remind you of?
I want to say Thierry and Ronaldo-ish mixed together.
Thierry, innit? Yeah.
But Thierry was a little bit more elegant with it.
Yeah, he's
like
quite
Mbappe's like...
Mbappe is like, you know what, like if someone was to give a slow man pace and they go, you know what, forget everything else I've been doing, I'm just going to blow people out.
It's ridiculous.
That's what he's like kick and run, old school back on the playground.
Yeah, he's so
direct. Used to say about players, like all he does is just, he uses his pace.
Yeah.
So, he's got it, use it.
But he does it in a technical way because you see when Thuram came on and tried the same thing, it don't quite, shout out to Thuram, senior Thuram, but it doesn't quite feel the same. So Mbappe still does it with class.
But you know what the mad thing is? Then you look at the second goal, and we're talking about his brutal pace that just ends people. But then you see him dancing like he's on a dance floor.
That was
before.
brilliant.
I mean, the shot cross. I don't know if that wasn't meant, but the shot cross. But before that, the footwork to get through three players in traffic was just like and I think he's got the most dribbles completed in the tournament.
It feels like he has.
He's also got 5 goals and 2 assists this season, averaging 95 minutes per goal.
Mbappe versus Messi.
The only player to complete 20-plus take-ons this tournament.
Yeah.
Mad thing. But yeah, it looks like France have never lost when he's played. When he started,
Is that right, yeah?
So when he started.
Damn.
That's 6 games, 6 wins in 2018. And during this World Cup, obviously, 4 starts, 4 games, 4 wins.
So Messi and Mbappe are tied for top goal scorer on 5 goals each.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of them scoring in the final.
Oh, but what did we say coming into it? I don't know if it was. I said it definitely. Like, I want superstars to come into this tournament and leave with their reputations enhanced. Messi and Mbappe have done that.
Yeah, who's the unknown that's coming out?
Alvarez, my guy.
What a find,
I was going to say
way.
Aaron Bapp from Morocco.
Yeah. What's his name? Unai?
Unai, I think, who Jose mentioned him. Let me get his name.
Bad player. Unai.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
He plays at Angers or something.
Yeah, the number 8.
Wicked player.
Unai.
He's going to get a big move. I'll tell you who else, by the way. I know he got turned inside out, but it was by Messi. Is Guardiola. The left-sided centre-half. He will be going for 70, 80, 90 million.
Aren't they talking about City? I think
Chelsea,
for over
City,
100.
everyone's in for him. So, but he's 20 years old, by the way.
Yeah. That Enzo guy as well.
Enzo for Argentina.
Baller.
Those are my 3, I think, for the younger players of the tournament. Alvarez, Enzo, Fernandez, at Argentina midfielder.
Yeah.
What's his name? Is it Unai?
Unai. I don't want to butcher his name.
Listen, I did tell you something before they
Guardiola.
started about who was winning the World Cup, and I'm right.
What?
Manchester United.
Well,
Yeah, but
one of them,
bro.
He might not start though,
I was going to
Martinez.
say,
Don't matter.
Martinez ain't
Coming on with a
even
medal.
really started right now, bro.
And
Been
what?
dropped for Otamendi.
And
Come
what?
on, man. That's not a good look still.
But
yeah.
seriously, Alvarez, the recruitment from Man City, how much did he cost?
Peanuts.
People were saying, online, I was on Twitter and they were saying, oh, Pep Guardiola tried to have us with we can never replace him when he made the reference to Aguero. My man's replaced him twice in 12 months.
And got 50 million out of you lot for the other guy.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I'm worrying for Arsenal after
don't
we
be.
go back.
Don't be. Have
Why?
you seen our friendly? We're smashing teams, bro.
No, I'm just saying.
Is he picking up pre-season again?
Lyon as well. Like we've absolutely.
Don't
do you know
look at
why?
United's results. We've been inspired.
Yeah, you lot been terrible. Right, do you know why? Quickly,
Just because of Jesus.
Because you tried to go there, and I'm going to finish it right because the majority of our players are playing in the friendlies are actually the players that will be starting in the Premier League. So we've got Xhaka back. We've got obviously Nketiah, who's going to have to lead our line. We got Odegaard. Like those players have been on form, and then you got Saliba that's rested as well. So
I just want to see.
You see what United have done?
What?
So my old man's fuming. The League Cup game on Wednesday next week.
I heard about this. Yeah.
Sell out, like we do. You wouldn't know. They've decided to shut the top tier of Stretford End and the top tier of North Stand. So now it's down to 62,000.
Why?
So we've already sold the tickets. You ain't getting to come. Because there's rail strikes and this, that, and the other. But I don't understand how it affects. Someone's probably going to be able to tell me in the comments. I've not seen too much on it, but I don't understand how that affects the stadium.
Maybe staff getting there.
Is it emergency services, maybe?
Staffing.
Yeah, maybe.
I want to bring it back to Croatia very quickly. Modric, you skated past this in the last 5x5 when I said, who would you pick out of your favourite midfielders, Iniesta, Xavi or Modric? You kind of said all of them, but you can't get off that lightly, man. We've got to analyse this.
No, I mean, listen, what he'll be remembered as a great player, no doubts, but another thing that he'll stand out for, he's the player that won a Ballon d'Or in the midst of the Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi kind of battle.
I think Ronaldo should have won it that year, by the way. But
I do as well, but he won it. So he, no matter what, he just pull it out. Like Michael Owen does every interview he does at his house. It's in the back there. Yeah. He's just sitting there. So that's what Modric should be doing, or one of his 10 Champions Leagues he's won. Do you know what I mean? So, but he is. It's great because I played with Igor Stimac and I didn't play with Igor, but I know Igor Stimac. And at Slaven Bilic I played with. I know Boban. I know that I played with Davor Suker. Croat legends.
Did you?
Yeah, he come to West Ham.
I saw you said Boban the other day.
Yeah, so these are legends in Croatia. I went to Croatia years ago, and these guys were being talked about like Prozinecki and guys like that. Like, wow, they're heroes. Imagine what these guys who have finished in back-to-back third places at a World Cup are going to be like. And given what now Modric has done in club football, he goes down as one of, if not the best midfielders of this generation, without a shadow of a doubt. He walk into any room.
Is he the best Croatian player ever?
Yeah, best Croatian player ever. He has to be. I mean, on individual talent, Prozinecki's going to be talking, and he was a great player. Boban as well, but Modric, what he's done, what he's won as well, man, and been absolutely integral in everything. Runs games, controls the tempo.
His level this tournament has shocked me. I didn't think
you're like this. I spoke to him before we went to Real Madrid, because that's what I used to do. I was the playing agent.
Agent Rio.
Yeah, Agent Rio before I retired. And any player that was available or was coming up, I used to think, right, I would somehow get into him. Even Thiago at Liverpool, I spoke to him before he left Bayern Munich. Before he left Barcelona to go to Bayern Munich. And that
he was
almost
very
happened.
close to joining.
He was almost happened, but we signed. I think we signed Fellaini instead.
That worked out.
Modric, I remember speaking to him and he said, "Oh yeah, man." It was like I said, "You leaving?" He said, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go." He wasn't sure at the time where he was going, and I said, "Listen, you've got to come to United, man." And he was like, "Yeah, listen, I want to be the first Croatian to play for Man United. I want to be that guy. Can we make it happen?" And it didn't happen. I think United, I spoke to David Gill, and the manager at the time, had already agreed with Shinji Kagawa, I think it was. I think that was the year. I'm sure it was. They'd already had irons in the fire with another player. And they'd done that deal, and Modric went to Real Madrid. The rest is history. But I never imagined that he'd go on to do what he's done.
No one did.
But what a player. Everyone who plays with him, Spurs, Real Madrid, they all say how good he is.
Gina said, I asked him who's the best player you've ever played with, and I think he said...
And he's played with Frank, Stevie, Wazza, me.
Yeah. Honestly, he's literally spoken of so highly. Like, Jermaine Defoe, when we had Jermaine Defoe on the show, he was just like, wow. Yeah. So, Shout
out to Modric. Respect to Modric and his international and career.
Yeah. I was going to say, so do you put him above in the... You're still skirting around the question, bro. Like, what's going on?
I don't know, man.
You don't know?
I don't know.
It's so hard ranking people. Especially with the very top echelon. No, if you was like... No disrespect to Genis here, but if you was like, who's better, Modric or Genis, there's quite a clear gap.
You're out of order.
JJ.
But I'm not even sorry. I'm not even sorry. Right?
Yeah.
Are we lying here or what? I'm not even sorry. Let's just be very real.
JJ will say it anyway.
So when it's like that, it's a clear, right? But when it's like, who's better, Xavi or Modric, you just go, look,
it's down to preference.
They're both in the mix. That's it. They're both.
But this is where you're hypocritical, because if I say who's better, Zidane or Modric, you'll say Modric.
It's like, there is something about World Cups when the entire world is watching. It is 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 games, right? Most people play 4, right? Not everyone gets to play 6. You've got to do bits to play 6. that is any month of the season.
Yeah.
You hit a big run of form for 5-6 weeks.
Are you saying that Modric is better than Zidane?
I'm saying Modric's club career, he hit a level Zidane didn't hit at his club. Zidane is propped up. Let me finish. Zidane is propped up by tier 1 performances for France. But
so what about Madrid? What about when he scored
the Champions League final, the volley, one of the most iconic moments
What
I've
about
ever
everything
seen?
he was doing in
What was
Juve?
it, an iconic?
Talk to Ancelotti about how he transformed the positioning of a midfielder.
We need medical assistance right now, because what I'm hearing now, Luka Modric would sit here and tell you, I'm great, I've done unbelievable things, but Zinedine Zidane sits over here.
But
he will tell you that.
I'm comfortable.
I don't know what you're. Are you comfortable?
Comfortable, mate.
Check your temperature, please.
Fine.
Seriously, this guy, I don't know what I'm hearing. In the comments, please get at this guy.
Please.
All right. Get in the comments if you watched him. Because I don't want to hear people that have listened to
He's
this.
one more, yeah? He's one more. Has he? Well, he's one more Champions League, definitely, right? He's one more in that sense, yeah? But Zidane, man.
Yeah.
Just remember, in the Galactico team, he was standing out as the best player.
Mad.
That puts in at one title.
What?
Well,
yeah,
I'm
no,
just
one in
saying,
the Liga. They still won a Champions League.
He won the Champions League, bruv. He scored the best goal probably in the final we've ever seen. He's won.
Very
won
comfortable.
everything.
Very comfortable with what I'm saying.
You can't talk like that, man. Go on YouTube and look at his reels.
This is the problem, though. This is why some people think certain players are good.
No. He's
Don't
better.
look at reels.
He's better than reels. Rio, you played against him, right? Give us the experience of when a man like that's.
This isn't me saying his shit. I'm not saying his shit.
We're not saying that.
But Zidane, you can't even close him down.
Yeah.
He's like poetic, like glory. He's like poetry in motion. The guy's an artist. The guy's got wing mirrors on the whole time. You close him down, he just pirouettes on the other with both feet that way as equally.
Was it crazy? Was it like...
It was like, I swear, like, I used to play the ball into Scholes, and Scholes used to do things, not skill-wise, but pass-wise and vision-wise. And I used to commentate during the game. I used to go, oh my God, Scholesy. And some forwards would look at me and laugh. I remember Bobby Zamora laughing at me, going, Reed, you commentating, man. Like, but I couldn't help it. And Zidane, I'm playing against Zidane, and he's doing a couple of things in the game, and I'm going, fucking hell.
Have you seen the times when he had Roy Keane like running circles? Ask Roy Keane.
Mate, he had him on a bit of string.
Roy Keane says it himself. The hardest player he's played against is Zinedine Zidane.
Because he had him on the league. He's like a little.
That's your Roy Keane.
That's cool.
You know?
He is like, he was unreal, man.
A dream.
He was, and you know what was? He was a cold guy, man. You look at some of the clips. This guy has been he ain't just been headbutting Materazzi. He's been headbutting people from time. He had that streak. He had that streak that he was like. He had that mad streak.
Yeah.
The top. Oh man.
What did Patrice say about
I'm going to put some receipts for you, because there's match reports, opinions on him, contemporary stuff that was written about his time at Juventus. Inconsistent, doesn't show up. This, that, and the other. He had moments. Yeah, seriously. Listen, this is not my works.
Doesn't show up.
Steve, everyone's going to have bad periods. Even Giggsy had bad periods. You'll have some players who, top players that sometimes, Ronaldo, R9, when he came back to you guys, Champions League, was he not getting booed before that game? You know, you remember
Why
the game.
Why are we going there?
You remember the game.
Why are we going there?
Like, you weren't having a great time. What does that mean? It happens to players. Gareth Bale has had criticism. Are we going to turn around and say that he wasn't an effective player?
By his admittedly 10 out of 10 performances for France. He didn't actually hit the same heights as he hit with France, with Juventus or Real Madrid.
I cannot even listen to Steve right now.
So he never hit heights.
I'm going to bring.
But he went for a world record fee from Juventus to Real Madrid.
What? And players have never been.
No, but I'm just saying. Was that just based on what?
What was it after the Euros?
Steve.
Bro, come on, man.
Even in that, you know what? Yesterday we sat down and we did. What did we do? All-time 11 Premier League, and we also did.
Fucking Tom was trying to put Koscielny in it,
mate. Yeah. Tom was having a mad. I can't lie. But some of the players that Steve was naming, like honestly, you need a timeout, bro. We're not going to go into it.
Can we just change subject quickly? Sorry.
Go on.
This has been something that's been like building through the tournament, right? Have we ever seen Messi as emotional and as like ferocious?
I mean, we've never seen him emotional.
In when he's playing, like, because the stuff after the Holland game, when he's going up to Van Gaal and doing that because of what he done to Riquelme,
does he know it's last roll of the dice?
Yeah, is it almost like, because when I look at him and there's a couple of ways I've thought about this. At Barcelona, that team is the best club team I've ever seen, right? And they were winning games at a canter. They were winning games easily, putting teams to bed before even a ball was
5s and
passed.
6-0 all over the gaff.
So nothing's on a knife edge to get the blood flowing as much. Yes, there is enjoyment, but it was more of an enjoyable tiki-taka. We're going to pass you to death. We're always going to win, blah, blah. With Argentina, everything's a fight in this team.
Yeah, Argentinian football culture is anti-tactics.
Yeah.
It's very much, we want a pibe, which is the archetype. Maradona fit a prophecy of a player that was written in 1920s or 1930s. Someone did a book and was like, this is what an Argentinian football should be. Long-haired, scruffy, left-footed, number 10. And Maradona sort of like realised a prophecy, and then Messi has almost followed up there. And there's been so many sort of like false prophets like Ariel Ortega, Riquelme, and Messi and Maradona have fit it to like the perfect T, and that's why they love that sort of player as much as they do. But the other thing about Argentinian football culture is that there's a machismo about it where it's like tactics.
Where are you getting all these words from, bro?
Don't worry about
Mate,
it.
he's been reading. He's got
A
the big
machismo?
job.
When I give you something, it's research. I don't just say things for nothing,
mate.
right?
It's not going to win your Zidane argument, by the way, but go on, carry on.
But Argentinian football culture is an anti-tactics. They see tactics as a European thing, and it's boring. Like, tactics are for nerds.
What's this got to do with Messi's emotion?
Because Argentinian football versus, say, Barcelona, where it was very systematic, Argentinian football has to be off the cuff to be respected by Argentinian people. So the Argentinian national team represents Argentinian football culture by being a team that is very much playing off the cuff. If I said to you, describe Argentina's style of play out here, you're going to struggle.
It's rugged. They're rugged. Get the ball to Messi. Rugged and get the ball to Messi. That's it. It's similar, yeah. It's rugged and get the ball, stay in the game and get the ball to Messi.
You can see the system in France, though. You can see the rigidity of the system in France. Argentina's a little bit more.
I don't know about
No,
that.
I just reckon they're rugged. They're rugged. Experience.
Play the ball to Mbappe. Yes, Griezmann can play it a little bit, but besides that, that's it. Before I forget, I was going to say, when you're looking at France versus Argentina, if France play the way they played against Morocco, they're getting sent home,
beat.
you know.
Yeah, they're getting beat.
They're getting sent home, packing.
Yeah.
That one side of the pitch is where the game is
Critical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Messi one end, on that side of the pitch, exploiting Hernandez's lack of bodies around him, and Mbappe, can they control him that side? Do you know, this could be the handing over of the baton, couldn't it? The torch being handed over. If Mbappe scores and they win,
That's it, yeah.
or
back-to-back World Cups at 23.
23 years old.
Call it a day.
Yeah, it's
But
over.
anyway, ring me, I'll be on the beach.
No.
Is he better than Henry if he does that?
See, this is these 5 or 6 games
I still think I want to see
elevated way more than what it's worth.
Yeah, I still want to see. He's
Does
achieved.
he not go down as one of the greats,
No,
though?
he's achieved more.
For
Obviously, if his career finished now, he's achieved more in national level. But in a club level, he's nowhere near Thierry.
Yeah.
So it's like on one side he's done more than Thierry, but
How many
Thierry
is it
still
for
won
Champions
a World
League?
Cup.
13 games for
And
the
a
Champions
Champions
League. 13 games to win the Champions League, right? Playing against the best teams in the world, right? In the group stage of a World Cup, generally you're playing against like Division 2 Championship level teams.
Yeah.
It only gets tasty when the knockouts happen. So you've had 3 difficult games to get to a final of a World Cup. Whereas the Champions League, you maybe have 1 or 2 poor teams in the group, but there's generally a killer in there with you as well. And then it's killer's row for the knockouts. Is winning a World Cup easier than winning a Champions League?
Well, it's the frequency.
Because it's
more
respected
pressure,
more.
it's more
It's
pressure.
respected more because it's rarer.
There's different variables though. You can judge it on the teams and the quality of the teams. I agree, but then there's no pressure like the World Cup. There's nothing that comes down on your shoulders like performing at a World Cup when the whole nation and world is looking at
Is that
you.
because of how rare they are as well?
Yeah, it comes every 4 years, and it's like you work towards that. And this is a combination of hard work.
How many did you play? 3.
Played in 3. I went to 4, played in 3.
Give us an example of the pressures. Obviously, sometimes when you were in teams, yes, Rooney would have the pressure, Beckham would have the pressure, but what can you feel yourself as Rio when you're going out there? Like when you see the fans out there, is it a bit more like, please, like we saw Jude Bellingham talking to the fans?
I think about with us as well, we had a big friction with the media, English media. That was another pressure. So forget our fans and expectations of our fans and the pressure you put on yourself. We felt our media didn't want us to win either. They were waiting for us with knives and forks out to kill us. Yeah, so that was another added pressure. Like I've always said on this show, I've heard massive players get on the bus after a game and go, well, that'll be a 4 in the paper tomorrow. That shouldn't be the thing on your mind. But it became that the media was such a big kind of catalyst for fear within our dressing room at times. The pressure is crazy because don't forget you're going out there And you know that we've seen in years gone by Gareth Southgate, Stuart Pearce miss penalties that lasted years. It doesn't get forgotten. Harry Kane's going to go through that, I'm sure now. We've seen Beckham.
I don't think it is. I think it's
not the same. It's going to go through.
There's nothing out there.
Maybe it's different because of the current climate between the relationship between the England players and the media is different now. But David Beckham, the way he was treated with the effigies and stuff like that being burnt. So they're scars within the players in that time and climate that I was playing in. So that pressure was so heightened. But it is just like everything's on your shoulders. Imagine walking up like Kane the other day to take a penalty, the second one as well, against your teammate. Like, you can say he shouldn't take it or whatever, but he's a goal scorer, he's Harry Kane, he's going to take it. But forget that. It's the pressure.
Yeah.
Joel couldn't handle it yesterday at beach football. Put over the bar.
Yeah, but I had to carry you.
How many videos would you have seen, though, of people just sitting there before the penalty's being taken going, can't sit still, oh my God.
Yeah.
There's one guy doing that. Spaghetti Junction legs.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. I've seen so many people arguing, should he have took it, shouldn't he have took it?
If
you miss it, you did the wrong thing.
Of course.
If you score it, no one's got anything to say.
Just one of those things.
Just one last thing, sorry, before we go. Can you tell me, like, in the GOAT conversation,
right?
If Messi wins this, is he GOAT? Or if Messi doesn't win this, does that mean he's not the GOAT?
Listen, argument's already done. Like, I don't care what happens. For me, it's always been Messi in it, and I think the majority of the Man United fan base, after Ronaldo's behaviour,
we're all Messi now.
Will say it's Messi. But if you take away all the schematics aside,
He's going to Google that word in a minute.
We've been reading.
Thesaurus either side of me.
But yeah, literally, I think this will. If he wins it, best known. Argument done. Like, completely finished. Nothing more to say. And I think the last 6 months of Ronaldo has also contributed to this because just the way it's gone down at club level, even internationally, it's not the way to go, man. It's not the way I wanted him to go.
It's a sad ending for what is a top 2 career of all time. Yeah. And this is another thing. Like, I hate the GOAT thing with Messi and Ronaldo because it is literally a privilege. And by the way, if it wasn't for cartilage problems and ACLs, fucking
R9 wins it.
R9's laughing at the rest of them. Because he hit a peak his peak is higher than Messi and Ronaldo's peak, but their peak is so long. That they just take over. But I think it's such a sad ending for where it's going with Ronaldo. If I'm Messi and I win it, you might even just say, do you know what? I don't want to go out like that. So let's go out with this. Box. Maybe that's why he's emotional. Maybe he's already thought it. He's only on a 1-year deal, isn't he?
Messi's got a camera crew following him, actually. I see him the other day. He's got a massive camera crew, so there's obviously a documentary being made. They can't wait. So it could be, imagine it's called The GOAT.
What else would you call it?
Goated.
Yeah.
Imagine.
It's deep, man.
But it's crazy.
Have you spoken to Cristiano?
Yeah, I've spoken to him on a text and stuff. He's chilling. He's back training and stuff like that, preparing for the next phase.
Yeah.
But it's the way it fizzled out at United was disappointing. But I was going to say something there.
R9, GOATs.
I had breakfast the other day with Fabio Capello, my old England manager.
Just drop that in there.
Just throwing it in there. Just dropped it.
Go on.
But it's mad. I just see him in the lounge, and we sat down and ended up having a full-blown discussion about all things football. And I said to him about he's obviously was in Italy when Maradona was there, and now he's seeing Messi live and direct now. I said, who's better? And he sat there. He said, let me tell you one thing. He says, you've got Pele, you've got Maradona, you've got Messi. He says, these three stand alone.
Really?
He said, yeah. He said, R9 stands just below. He said, because of injuries, just below. He said, really small smidgen just below because of injuries. And then there's other players, Cristiano, etc. But he said, the reason why these three stand alone is because these three players, every game, will do something that no one else can do. And they'll do something that makes people go, oh my God, every single game, and that no other player can really do. And that's what's the difference between them and the others, and they do it all the time. So I thought it was quite a
Just put Ronaldo back up there, please. Thank you.
R9.
R9, yeah.
No, R9's my favourite
my
player
goat.
to watch.
Yeah.
Cristiano's up there.
That's
as well.
my
Let's not
Cristiano
disrespect him
Ronaldo's
for
in
the
the
last 6 months.
conversation, man.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You can't do what he's done over that
yeah.
period of time and not be in that conversation.
I'm going to add Johan Cruyff to that as well.
I didn't see him enough.
Yeah, I can't. Come on. I can't.
Johan Cruyff basically took what
You
was
didn't see him
almost.
enough.
I
Yeah,
didn't, but I know the story.
How you put him in there if you didn't see him? And
Because I'm
Pele.
putting him in there.
I don't know Pele, but everyone says he's the guy. But I don't know.
Johan Cruyff took what was almost
yes,
an amateur.
Rio. Tell him.
An amateur Ajax team and got them to win the Champions League. Then moved to Barcelona and became like the first sort of international superstar.
I know, but we can't put them people in
Yeah,
there
we
without our eyes touching the screen and seeing them properly.
And you don't know how you would feel. You've seen Steven Gerrard play and you don't rate him, so who knows? what
Also,
you'll rate
no,
him.
I've
You
seen
know what I mean?
I've seen the
It's
stats.
truth.
Someone, do you like Gaspar Opinion? Shout out to him on
Yeah, he's
Instagram.
sick,
What a brilliant
sick.
account.
What account
He
that
broke
is.
down World Cup performances from certain
But
players.
he ain't the gospel.
There's a couple of players that have done an absolute madness at international tournaments that never get spoke about, and Cruyff is one, and actually Platini is another one that no one ever brings
Seen
up
the
at
highlights.
all. Yeah, and that's the madness in it, is because the eyes of the world are on one spot for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it does get blown up out of all proportions, because I think if you have a great run going from Wednesday to Saturday in the Premier
This
League
guy.
and the Champions League, and you end up like winning both of those competitions over a 4 or 5 month period to the back end of a season, that is more impressive than just winning a World Cup for me. Because a World Cup, you've got to have the lottery of who else was born in your nation around the same era. You've got to have the luck of the draw that you get. There's some mad draws that you get to the final, or semi-finals at least. Semi-finals onwards, it's obviously going to be difficult. But I think that the World Cup gets blown out of all proportion. I think maybe because it is rare, and maybe it'd be a mistake for FIFA to make it every other year.
Yeah, nah, I'm not on that. So are we all in agreement then, yeah?
What?
R9, goated. Our personal goats.
He's my favourite ever non-United player that
There
I've
you go.
seen.
Let us know in the comments what you
You can't skip off R9.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. We've all picked R9, right?
Talk about, and I've seen him the
Let
last
us
3
know.
days. I look, when I see R9, something happens.
When I see R9, I see a different guy. Like I see the 21-year-old.
No, I just see him reeling off at Old Trafford.
Is that
it
what you
kills
see?
me. It kills me.
Is it?
And he was dusted then or not?
I don't. I just see the guy that. There's 2 players that have made me fall in love with football: Diego Maradona and R9.
Yeah.
Continued that love with football. The other players have been great. Don't get me wrong, but the way that R9 made me scream at times about certain things he'd done, like off your chair moments were just crazy. He had managers, Sir Bobby Robson, looking at the heavens. What have I just?
But it was everything.
Like,
it was the
it was too
customized
much.
boots. It was the.
He was almost like a culture.
He was.
He was. You know what I mean? Do you know the mad thing? Oh, I've got to tell you this. I forgot to tell you. You'd love this.
Go on.
Who did I bump into the other day on my travels?
Narrow it down because I've seen your
So
travels.
I went.
Give me a nation. Give me a nation. I'll try and guess.
So I went to a lunch, and the guy was across the table, and the guy said, "Yeah, man, this is Lawrence. I forget his surname. He's a filmmaker. Made some big films." Blah, blah, blah. I said, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah." Just named some big films. I think he was involved in like Quentin Tarantino film, Good Will Hunting. I think he was involved in big films. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not really a film guy, but cool, great."
Custard.
Carry on. Then he went, "Do you know what?" Because I think he must have seen that I ain't been reeled in yet. And he went, "This is something you might be interested in. I was director of an advert. You might remember. I don't think you remember it.
Was it in an
What
airport?
He went, you know the Brazilian national team in the airport, 94 World Cup.
No way. 94?
No, 98.
98.
Mas que nada.
I've got a video. I'm going to give you the video of how I reacted as well afterwards because it sunk in.
Man's like, I've got Oscars for Goodwill Hunting and shit. You're like, whatever.
I
fucking swing
absolutely
it.
flipped. He was my best mate for about 24 hours. Do you know who this is? Do you know who this guy is? He is part of football culture. The best advert we've ever seen.
Ever.
That was
Ever.
crazy.
It's that and then go fucking screw yourself.
Adverts from that day have dropped off a cliff.
No, but they changed the advert game, innit? Because
And I said, bro, do you know what you've done? He didn't realise. And I was going, do you know who this guy is? Do you know it was in like a place with like some like really influential, significant people? And I was going, whoa. This guy is the guy. He's culture of football. He created something that will never be matched ever again. So yeah, it was mad. One of my moments in my World Cup guy.
Rio pointed this one out to me the other day around the pool. Arrigo Sacchi.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the streets know.
No.
So Arrigo Sacchi was a shoe salesman. Didn't have a professional career.
You won the league, didn't you?
Did he? He gets, I think he was at Parma, comes up as a coach through Parma, gets given the AC Milan job. Imagine a shoe salesman being given an AC Milan job right now.
In our country.
Yeah, literally. The press went ballistic, and he's like, yeah, cool story. Wins the league first time out. Creates like probably it's a top five. It's a top five all-time club teams. It's basically an Italian who's who. I think Ancelotti was in centre mid. You've got Bracy, you've got Maldini, you've got then the Dutch trio which just made it.
Rijkaard,
Gullit, Van Basten. Behave yourself. Wins back-to-back Champions League. Was the last guy to do it before Real Madrid obviously did it in the modern era. I think
one of the most aggressive teams around the way they played as well.
The 25-metre front-to-back. Serious like compactness, like, and he's going to hit you if you're 26 metres, like serious compactness. But yeah, just chilling on a sun lounger.
He was on a sun lounger, but when he gets up and walks around, because there's quite a lot of Italian players there who've played, and other players from other countries that played in Italy. But when he gets up and walks about, you can see there's an authority, there's an aura around him.
He's about that big and all.
Yeah, he's old,
That's
he's
the
in
guy.
his 70s, I think. But you can see people looking and just say like.
He took Italy to the final, didn't he?
he
When
must have been-
was it Baggio misses penalty?
Yeah,
Was that one?
must have been a
that
ruthless-
close. That
ruthless
close.
guy. So yeah, man.
Man, some experiences here, but yeah. Oh, also, let us know the content you've enjoyed the most on our channel.
Yeah.
I'm proud. Honestly, I was talking to different people yesterday in our team and our 5 team saying we've done some sick content, man.
Shout out to the people behind the scenes that you don't see at this table who are doing the work behind the scenes. So without you guys, it ain't possible to give you.
Hey, give me this.
people.
Who's the legend that you didn't know that you've met out here that either impressed or surprised you the most? And you?
Go on, if you've got one, say it first. I'm gonna think.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm still fuming that I ain't met R9, you know. That's all I can think about. I think everyone's met me about me.
Do you know what I would say about Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo?
Go on.
I'm amazed and really, it's nice to see how friendly and how generous with his time he is for people.
Yeah.
He gets mobbed.
He gets. There's no other player that's here that gets the attention that he gets from kids. People are turning up with shirts for him to sign constantly. The guy's just sitting down trying to chill a bit of lunch after playing paddle, sweating his nuts off.
Yeah.
That's what I got him.
He's mid putting his cappuccino in his mouth, and there's people with 4 or 5 pens in his face and selfies and that. And the guy, I swear down, he's just smiling.
Yeah.
He's smiling, doing it, and that's just like, it's amazing.
It doesn't look like
see.
he's ever affected.
What did he say to you? What did he say? Yeah.
No, he said, yes, Rio, how you doing? Because I walked in with Farrow, actually, Farrow Williams, who was with me, and I went to sit down to have a bit of food, and he was sat there with his friends and his team.
What Farrow literally just saying, I hope I see R9.
Yeah, she was saying just before he walked in, actually, and she said, I hope I see him. I said, listen, we'll see him when we see him, I'll hook you up. And when we went in, he said, yes, Rio, what's happening? And then we just kind of have a little chat quickly. How you doing? What are you up to? A little small talk. And then I just left him to finish his food and that. And I ate mine. And then Farrow was sitting there going, Rio, please give me a photo, please. Before he left, she got a photo. So,
Hey, hook me up, please.
So is that he the one that's sort of impressed you the most? Just in seeing that side of him?
Yeah, I think seeing that side of, because you hear so much about all these players, man. He's so humble.
Because there was one out here, I'll tell you off camera, it was a fucking chopper.
Who?
I'll tell you off camera.
Oh, okay.
You told me.
Yeah.
Hilarious. He's hurt. Trust me, he's mad hurt.
Oh, I think I know it is.
He's mad hurt. It's funny.
I'd say Doff has impressed me. Such a friendly guy.
He's just henchman.
And he's jacked. Absolutely
Seedorf is the
jacked.
man.
Guy's
Seedorf
just
is the man.
They were playing paddle the other day, and in between his paddle games, he was going playing tennis just to keep it going.
Yeah, he's mad.
Different animal, him.
Listen, I want to wrap it up here. We've got Vibe with 5. You've also got Rio Reacts that you're doing.
I've got a flight by now. Cheers, lads.
Yeah, good luck. We've got the final that we're going to cover somehow. And yeah, man, 5, this has been incredible.
Let us know as well
It's
how you
emotional.
think, what you think about the channel during this period, because we've been working hard behind the scenes with a lot of people, us guys on screen, but there's a lot that goes on behind. So we'd love to know, man. The feedback is always welcome. We react off that feedback. So
We do.
Again, make sure you like, subscribe, and share,
Yeah.
and stay tuned.
I want to see you in the desert. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I've been in the desert, bro. I filmed something in the desert. It's coming, man. So just don't miss this one.
What?
Do not miss this one.
Seriously?
It's nuts, bro. I've never heard me hit high notes like it.
Oh, what did you do? What, gym bashing?
Yeah, bro. I've only just recovered.
I'm here for it.
I've only just recovered.
It
Seriously.
better be shot well as well. That's what I'm saying.
My hair's receding even more, bro.
Is
I swear
it?
down. I almost lost hair.
What,
Anyway.
Harley Street with me, yeah? He's thinking, no chance, mate. It's in yours.
I'm
All right,
right,
guys.
Let's not talk hairlines on show, yeah? Mine's all right. Mine is healthy, bruv.
Guys, we will be back soon. Beya, Rio Ferdinand, Stephen Howson, Vibe with 5, signing out.